We're back, baby.
Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now, the Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now, the Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now, the Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, about now, about now, about now.
What's poppin', y'all? It's your man, Cowboy Bills. Welcome to another episode of Wisco Sports. Of course, it's my first schedule prediction episode of the year. I can't believe it. Football is back tonight. It's a crazy thing. Of course, Sunday, it's going to be watching TV, watching football, looking at my fantasy scores. I just can't wait for it. And it's crazy enough to think about it. And I'm really ready, so, this is going to be obviously, this is a long video, so, I'm obviously going to go over each game, and maybe in the future, I might have a guest with me doing predictions as well. Thanks, and obviously a new guest every week. I'm hopefully going to try to do that, try to get something more interesting with this, but anyways, it's just me today, so anyways, we'll see what happens. But if you want to compete with me and basically do predictions, basically how it'll work is I go over what I want, and then their person, or the other person, will guess who they think will win games, and whoever gets more wins and has the better record on that will win for the week, and I'll give them a special prize. If not, I get the prize. So just because that's just how it works. So anyways, we got a long show to get to, so anyways, let's get to the show. Alright, starting things off, we have the Dallas Cowboys taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers tonight on NBC for prime time. First time we're not going to be seeing that unbelievable commentating that duo of Al Michaels and Chris Collinsworth. It's now Tirico. I do like Tirico. I mean, personally, but he's not my Al Michaels, and it's just not going to be the same. But it's a new era, which, I mean, they got to move on. That's a business. So that's that. But anyways, Dallas and Tampa Bay. I can't wait to see these two teams really go at it. Tampa Bay, of course, they're looking to go get to back-to-back Super Bowls and win back-to-back Super Bowls. I think they are obviously the favorite to do it again. They brought back everybody from last year's team, and I think it's theirs for the taking if they can really play like they did last year. I mean, they were unstoppable. Like, Kansas City couldn't do anything against them. So it was really tough. I mean, yes, they were at home, but you never know what's ever going to really happen. They're facing the Dallas Cowboys. Mike McCarthy's in his second year in the league as head coach for the Cowboys. Dak Prescott is coming back from injury. We do not know if he's going to be 100%, but I'm anticipating he is going to do well. He's got his line back. Ezekiel Elliott, I think, is going to have a bounce-back year. He's got he's got one of the best receiving corps in the league in Mari Cooper, Michael Gallup, and CeeDee Lamb. You got a lot of targets that you can really go to. The Cowboys, if things go well for them, they should win the division this year because they've had all their chances, and I think they've had the best offense. The whole Dak Prescott thing just kind of screwed it over, and that was kind of the reason why things were going bad. But what I look at it is, can their defense play well? And their defense just has not been good. Dallas's defense has just been awful. Tampa Bay's defense, on the other hand, is really good. So to start off, I think, just because Tampa Bay is at home, I'm going to pick the Buccaneers. But I know Dallas, I still think Dallas will win more games down the line. I mean, that's just how it works. Can't not say anything, but this is going to be a definitely great game to start off the season. Absolutely, for sure. All right, going on to Sunday. So we got a lot of matchups on Sundays. Of course, there's no bye weeks for any team because it's week 1. So I'm just obviously going to go in order with whatever is on the list. So Anyways, first up we have the Philadelphia Eagles at the Atlanta Falcons. Jalen Hurts is now the QB, but obviously he doesn't have many weapons. He lost Deshaun Jackson, Alshon Jeffrey in free agency, so I think we're going to see a lot of read options to Miles Sanders and a lot of things because we know Jalen Hurts is a running quarterback. That's his game. I think we're going to be seeing a lot of these type plays. His passing is a little bit questionable, but he is in his second year in the league, and I'm really excited to see what he can bring. For the Atlanta Falcons, on the other hand, no more Julio Jones. He's gone. Calvin Ridley, of course, is your number one option. You also have Kyle Pitts now, who's, I think, a guy that's really going to get a lot of catches from Matt Ryan. This could probably be Matt Ryan's last year with the Falcons. If the Falcons have another failed season, I'd see them going for a quarterback at this point. Their defense is absolutely atrocious. I don't know what else to really think about, but from the standpoints, I know Philly, I'm not anticipating them having, but both these teams I don't think are going to have a good season whatsoever. And knowing how the Falcons just always start off terrible, I'm going to go with Philly winning this game because I feel like Jalen Hurts, I think, wants a good start to the year. And I just don't think Atlanta always starts off bad. You never really know what you're going to see out of Atlanta. Next matchup, Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen is probably the front runner for MVP this year. Everybody wanted him on fantasy. He can do basically everything. He looked phenomenal last year, and I think he's just going to get better and better as it goes. He's got a good line protecting him. Obviously, that's what they needed. The thing is, their running game is obviously the most questionable thing because they really don't like to run the ball, but I think it doesn't really matter because look at how their receivers just keep doing their thing. Then the Pittsburgh Steelers, the meme team, started the season out 11-0 and then just completely debunked the last couple games, and they just were bad. Juju Smith-Schuster makes TikToks, and their team just is basically a meme at this point. I think this is probably the last year of Ben Roethlisberger's career. I don't know. I see him obviously on the decline. He's just has not been the same quarterback. I mean, he gives his A game and all, but it's not really the same as it used to be. With that being said, obviously I'm going to have to go with Josh Allen. Buffalo will win this game only because they're at home, and I think Josh Allen's going to have a really great season, and he is my pick for MVP. Next up, Minnesota Vikings at the Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow finally returns from his ACL injury. We really want to see him do well. Problem is, they should have drafted an O-lineman. Instead, they went with Jamar Chase. So far, he's just been absolutely awful in practice and preseason games. He's dropped a bunch of passes. It's not working out for him. And that O-line has just been absolutely awful. Joe Burrow is just going to, as great as a quarterback as he is, they need an offensive line. I don't know how they can do that. Minnesota gets Daniel Hunter back. Everson Griffin also is back on the team. I think their defense is going to be absolutely better than how atrocious it was last season. But I'm not anticipating Minnesota to be that. I think they're going to be like a half and half team, Minnesota, but obviously I think they're going to start the season with the win just because I think they have Dalvin Cook obviously is one of the best running backs in the league. Justin Jefferson now is honestly one of the best receivers in the league going into his second year unless an injury happens or something. But I gotta give this one to Minnesota. I think they should easily beat the Bengals here. Next up, San Francisco 49ers and the Detroit Lions. Detroit, in my opinion, is the worst team in the NFC. They got absolutely worse this season. They got rid of Marvin Jones and Kevin Galladay and replaced them with Tyrell Williams. It was Brashad Perryman, but they cut him. I don't know. It's just nothing's going right with the Lions at all. And DeAndre Swift and TJ Hawkinson are basically the new stars of the team. Jared Goff is now the new quarterback. Everything just is not working well for the Lions. San Francisco 49ers should win this game because all their people are back, all their people are healthy. I don't know how San Francisco won't win this game. That's just how I look at it. Next up, Arizona Cardinals at the Tennessee Titans. Ryan Tannehill got COVID, so we don't know if he's going to be available. I think he will be. He should be fine. Derrick Henry is just a dang good running back. They're going to be facing Arizona Cardinals, J.J. Watt's new team. Kyler Murray has a great offense. However, he's just not used properly. And I think a lot of people are going to see that the coaching is the big reason why Arizona, who is anticipated to be really good, just has not been the good team that we see. So I'm not sure what I see from it. So from what I know, I'm going to pick Tennessee because I think Arizona will win games to start off, but it's just going to be another season where Kyler Murray tries to do everything he can, but he can't do everything. That's how I feel. Next up, the Seattle Seahawks at the Indianapolis Colts. Of course, I have to pick Seattle. No, I mean, even though Indianapolis seems like a reasonable pick to win, I mean, this could go either way. We all know how Russell Wilson starts the season every year. He looks like everyone's like, oh, Russell Wilson MVP. Then he just completely backs down. He's super quiet, and it's just not the same. And Indianapolis has a good defense, so maybe we could see something else. But we don't even know if Carson Wentz is even going to start Week 1. And with that being said, I have to take the Seahawks. Next up, the LA Chargers versus the Washington Football Team. Justin Herbert, he's anticipated to have a stellar season after winning Rookie of the Year. Washington Football Team has one of the best defenses in the league. This should be a very interesting battle to see if Justin Herbert can really do some damage against Washington's defense. Washington's offense is a big question mark. Can Ryan Fitzpatrick actually do some damage with the offense? Terry McLaurin is a very underrated wide receiver. They also have Curtis Samuel and Logan Thomas at tight end. It's very interesting to see what they're going to do. With that being said, I want to see Justin Herbert really succeed with the Chargers. I am going to pick the LA Chargers with that one. Next up, New York Jets facing Carolina Panthers. Sam Darnold is now on the Panthers. He gets to face his former team, which I think is a huge deal. New rookie, Zach Wilson. He looked good in preseason. I'd say that. Do I think the Jets are going to be a great team? I don't know. It's a big question mark. I don't know if Zach Wilson is going to get his first win today. I don't think so. I think Carolina, with a healthy offense, getting McCaffrey back, I think is a huge deal. I think Sam Darnold is going to actually get revenge on the Jets. The Jets just were a bad franchise for him, and I think, if he was still on the Jets, I think he'd actually have a better season. But I just didn't want to give up on Sam Darnold, and I want to take the Carolina Panthers. Next up, Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Houston Texans. Deshaun Watson still holding out. Tyrod Taylor is the starter. If that's the case, Houston's just going to have a disaster of a season, and I don't even see them winning a game. Just personally, I think their defense is absolutely awful. They don't even have any offensive weapons, really, to even throw to. Tyrod Taylor is just going to he'll do okay, but this is just going to be a bad season for Houston. Trevor Lawrence, the first overall pick, I think will lead Jacksonville to a win. Just like they won the first game last season, and then they just did awful later on. But I want to see Trevor Lawrence actually have a decent season for Jacksonville, because I don't want people giving up on him and saying, oh, he's a bust already. I'm just like, I don't want to see that, because we saw how good he was in college. I mean, a lot of people know it. It's not that personal. Next up, this will be a good game. Cleveland Browns versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Cleveland, a lot of people are hyped up on Cleveland. They got way better on defense. They have Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney coming at you from both ends. That's going to be a tough thing for offensive lines to stop. They have a very good defense, a very young defense, and a very promising defense. Their offense, best running back duo in the league in Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. The only question is, can Baker Mayfield really step up when needed? Now I don't know if Odell Beckham will start Week 1, but they'll get him back eventually. That's obviously a big plus. But obviously it's Week 1, and I think Patrick Mahomes is just going to do what Patrick Mahomes does. So with that being said, I'm going to have to take Kansas City. No offense to the Browns, but I still think they're going to win the division and be the biggest underdog. But Kansas City, of course, should win their first game at home in the year. Next up, Miami Dolphins and the New England Patriots. People are already giving up on Tua. It hasn't even been a year, okay? Let the guy play, and we'll see how he is. Now, on the other hand, Mac Jones. He got the start for New England. They cut Cam Newton. So, I'm excited to see what Mac Jones can do for New England. Now, everybody's already saying he's the next Tom Brady because of his play style and his ways that he does things. Now, maybe he is. Maybe he isn't. We don't know yet. Miami, I mean, I think they got a better offense this year because Tua he didn't really have many people to throw to last year. He had to throw to tight ends because none of his receivers were healthy. That was a big issue, and that's why they had to go back to Ryan Fitzpatrick because Fitzpatrick actually it's a complicated thing. But Tua, I think he is ready. I hopefully think he's ready. But if that's the case, Tua's got to really step up if he wants this. To start off, I think actually Mac Jones will give the Patriots the win. Why? Because Mac Jones, I'd say, will actually be pretty good this season. And possibly, I think New England could make the playoffs. I see it happening. If Mac Jones, and they got receivers now. They got Aguilar, they got Kendrick Bourne, they got Jonnu Smith, they got Hunter Henry. They actually got weapons this year, which is a big deal. And then you gotta just add on to that. So, anyways, I think Mac Jones has a good team he's surrounded by, so I think I'm gonna take New England. Next up, of course, I'm going to talk a lot about this one because this is my team, Green Bay Packers versus the New Orleans Saints. Of course, New Orleans, big story, of course. We all know what happened down there with that hurricane. Obviously, my prayers go out to all the people affected by it. But it's a big deal. They had to relocate, so they're playing their first game in Jacksonville. We might not even see New Orleans play in the Dome at all throughout the season, so it's going to be very tough. Seeing New Orleans have to try to find different places to play games. But Jacksonville, I mean, they just want to go wherever they can. Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers was the MVP last year. They had a lot of drama in the offseason with what if Aaron Rodgers is unhappy with the team. We're all seeing this crap. We get it, okay? But, he's back. You got Cobb back. We also signed a tackle. I think I forgot his name. But we're starting 2 rookies on the line. Pretty interesting, but we got a lot of people that I think can do a lot of things. I think Dallas Kelly's his name. I don't know, but it's interesting to see what they're gonna do. I'm excited to see what they're gonna do, but Green Bay, I think, should win this game. I don't know how they won't, but I mean, if it was in New Orleans, I would have actually picked New Orleans, but I think Green Bay, they want to start the season, and this is like the last chance I think they're ever really going to get in a Super Bowl for a very long time. So Green Bay really wants a big win to start off their season against New Orleans. I think New Orleans will be a big sleeper, but with Jameis Winston, I think he's going to have a bounce back year, but we'll see. And then also you got the Denver Broncos taking on the New York Giants. Denver decided to bench Drew Lock for Teddy Bridgewater. I think Denver's going to actually have solved their issues. I don't think they completely got better. Like, they didn't get a star quarterback. They just got Teddy Bridgewater, and I think that he's better absolutely than Drew Lock. Giants, on the other hand, I think Daniel Jones has a great offense. We don't know if Saquon Barkley is going to play week 1, but he will be back eventually. I think, obviously, it's going to be pretty slow, but we don't know what is going to happen. It's crazy enough to think about it. And I didn't miss anything? Okay, no, I didn't miss anything. Anyways, I'll take the Denver Broncos. I think they want to start the season with a win. And then Sunday Night Football, Chicago Bears at the Los Angeles Rams. Chicago. They're starting Andy Dalton, so I can't really say much. Rams got the best defense, one of the best defenses in the league. Matthew Stafford, I think, is going to make their team a whole tons times better. Even if Justin Fields was starting week 1 for Chicago, I don't see them winning this game. Rams defense is just going to be too much for anyone. I feel like Chicago is really going to struggle. I'm taking the Rams with that one for an easy win. And then finally, Monday Night Football, the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Las Vegas Raiders. Lamar Jackson, everyone's ripped on him. They're like, well, he's a running back. He's not a quarterback. Well, yeah, I mean, he's a regular season guy. It's like Ravens will do everything possible to try to be like super good, but they're not. And then the loss of the Raiders, they start great and then they collapse mid-season. That's just a classic Gruden thing, But to be honest, Las Vegas this is like the first time we're going to see fans in that new stadium. I think it's going to be a very interesting thing. Baltimore, on the other hand, I'd say Baltimore, they'll start out great, but I'm going to go with the upset this time. I'm actually going to go with the Raiders. I personally think everyone's anticipating the Ravens to win, but I think the Raiders are actually going to start this season out with a pretty good win. I mean, that seems to be how the Raiders work, so I can't say anything else. I mean, that's just how it is. So anyways, that's my thoughts for week 1. If you like what you saw, please like, please share, please comment, subscribe, hit the bell, and of course, root for your favorite team. And as always, have a great day. I can't think of my catchphrase. I'm just having a bad day, but it's whatever. So anyways, there we go. Stay safe and be smart. And as always, go Pack Go. We'll see you next time.